Hi, what up, YouTube? It's in a booth with Mr. Booth, and
Teachers walked out. I'm Trent.
so I had a schedule lined up, uh, a Sunday video, a Tuesday, a Friday.
Oh.
We just started. The first video was the SEC Power Ranking. This is going to be another SEC Power Ranking, but after this, it's going to be normal. It's going to be every Monday or Tuesday will be SEC Power Ranking, updated from the following week. Friday will be predictions and picks and whatnot for Saturday's game. Sunday will be laughing at the losers. There's 100 different places you can go: ESPN, Sports Center, the Ocho, wherever you want to go. Oh, this player did so good, but the team lost by 30. No, we're not praising nobody over here. We're pointing and laughing over here. If your team did dog shit, we're gonna call you out every single time.
It'd be a good week for Georgia.
Yeah. So this is going into week 4 power rankings.
Yeah.
Because it was week 3 last. So yeah, so we're fixing to do some rankings here. At number 16, I got Mississippi State.
I also have
Said it last week. Oh yeah, go ahead. My bad. I forgot. Trent's wanting to do his power rankings this week
I
with
also
me.
got Mississippi State. I also got Mississippi State. Same thing. Boo boo garbage. Waste.
Trent
If you're a Mississippi State team, do they even got a team? Do they even got a home stadium? Do they got a field?
Yeah, they're the one who do the
I
cowbells.
thought they played on high school fields.
No, they go crazy with the cowbells, pisses everybody off.
Yeah, no, it ain't pissing nobody off because they're in 16th.
They ring them bitches.
Dead last in the SEC. Okay, hey, anybody who disagrees, hold up. Anybody who disagrees with my power rankings, we can fight. Okay, we can real deal fight.
Oh my god! All right, cool.
If you disagree with me at all.
All right. Yeah, 16. I got Mississippi State. You just look bad all over. Mike Leach, like I said last week, rolling over in his grave. We got the battle of the bottom.
Leach is, bro.
He was their head coach. He died of a heart attack, and he was very loved in the college football world. So this week we got the bottom of the barrel, fighting for the bottom of the barrel to get out of the very bottom. Because at number 15, I've got Florida, and they play each other this week.
Who? Mississippi State and Florida?
Yeah, they play each other at Mississippi State this coming weekend. Florida's horrible all over. I had Florida fans calling me when they put DJ Lagway in after the first drive against Texas A&M in the swamp. Oh, it's over now. DJ's back in. We're good. We're fine. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, bullshit. Y'all look, yeah, man. Quarterback room is not your problem. I don't know how many times I got to say that, stress that. Quarterback is not the problem. Graham Mertz outperformed last year on what everybody thought he was going to do, and that's not the issue. It's your QB. It's not your QB. It's your defense and your coaching. And I got to say this, and I think every Florida fan will agree with me when I say this, and I mean this with all my heart here. If Florida loses to Mississippi State at Mississippi State, if they lose, I'm going to start a petition. I think every Florida fan will get behind me. If you don't, you're not a real Florida fan. Every Florida fan should get behind me. I'm going to start a petition, and we need to get Billy Napier's contract extended. Get him 5 more years at Florida. He needs to be there longer. If Florida loses to Mississippi State, we need to get a contract extension. Billy Napier needs to stay in Florida. I mean, it's obvious. He's doing the damn thing. We need to get his contract extended. We need 5 more years of Billy Napier at minimum. And then, next week if they lose to whoever they're playing, let's go 3 more. Let's get him 8. I'm not pushing a decade of Billy Napier, but 8 years. 8 years. I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. I hope we do that. 14th, I got Vandy. Forgot who they lost to.
I don't know how I got a little bit behind. I was zoning out, but I got Arkansas at 15, then Auburn at 14. The last 3 haven't moved last week for me. It doesn't move really. Last week kind of.
Arkansas's only lost 1 game in double overtime to a ranked team. Just saying.
Yeah, but dude, they're really bad.
Yeah, they are.
It's really horrible to watch them play football.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about Vandy. I've got you 14th. On to Kentucky. Kentucky lost horribly to South Carolina a couple weeks ago. Played Georgia as hard as they could, barely come up with a loss. Georgia barely survived.
They should have won.
Kentucky in Kentucky,
13th, I got Florida because they are garbage.
which was
They're going downhill.
wild game, good game. I guess if you like that kind of game, I'm not a fan of those kind of games. The no scoring, defense only. It's not my.
That's like
Now I'm not
grappling
your
in
typical
UFC.
Tennessee fan. Balls by 50. Let's throw 100 on the board. That's not me either. But like that LSU South Carolina game was a lot more entertaining to me than the Kentucky Georgia game. That's just me. I like a good battle, but I like to see more points on the board. I like scoring's just fun to me. I like to cheer for somebody. Nobody's scoring. Who you cheering for? Defense, 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 defense. That's just not fun to me. So that was 13th. So
Yeah.
12, I've got Auburn.
Got Vanderbilt.
Auburn lost to Cal. And they played another nobody just now, and they beat them.
Yeah, so I don't really know how they went up in your rankings so far.
I guess because of how bad everybody else did this week.
I guess.
I've got them 12th. 11th, I've got Arkansas. They're looking a lot better than they were expected to finish. I mean, they won, 2 games last year, and they've already won 2 and going into week 4. I mean, good for Sam Pittman, I guess. I don't know what else to say about that, really.
11, I got Texas A&M.
Am I at 11?
Yeah, you just did 11, so I'm doing my 11. Just because they beat
No, I
Florida
just
bad.
did.
That was good. You just did 11. You just said 11, Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So you're doing your 11.
Yeah, Texas A&M because they
throwing
just
me
beat
off full of
Florida pretty
shit.
bad. So yeah, I think they're better than Florida and Vanderbilt. Just for beating Florida. On the top 10 now. Top 10 SEC. Woo!
All right, coming in at 10 for me, I've got Texas A&M. That second string QB against Florida balled. He looked great. I don't remember his name. Looked great though. I really thought that Texas A&M was going to go into Gainesville and take a loss, but they worked Florida in a good fashion. He looked really, really good.
At my 10, I got Kentucky. Well, at my 10, I got Kentucky just because, like, when they really tried, they played Georgia good. They played good when they really tried, so I snuck them in the top 10 there.
At my 9, I got South Carolina.
I got South Carolina at 9.
Their
too.
defense looks immaculate, but they got to finish ball games. They started so strong against LSU, was up 17-0. Let them come back and beat them in Columbia. See the video where the fans were ready to storm the field. They was all running down from like the top. They was running down from like the top
No, I
bleachers
didn't
down
see
to the
that.
bottom, ready to storm the field. Then they lost. Bad day to be a cock. I don't know what else to say. 9, I got 9, I got South Carolina. At 8, I've got LSU.
Got LSU there too.
A lot of concerns on the offense, man. Not completing drives at all. I mean, they did against South Carolina, but South Carolina just pretty much gave them the game. The defense is horrible. I don't know what else to say about it. Oklahoma, I've got 7th.
You
At
got them
7,
at
I've
7
got
too.
Oklahoma. You got 7?
Yeah, I got them at 7 too.
They didn't look horrible against Tulane, but they didn't look great either. Like they won by a good margin, but they didn't blow them out by no means. Tulane's not some pushover team, but at the same time, if you play teams like that, like in the SEC, you're not going to do great in the SEC. You're a 7.
I actually thought Tulane was going to pull that off.
Yeah, I
just
did
'cause
too.
I thought Oklahoma was going to be sorry.
Yeah.
But
They didn't do horrible, but you play like that in the SEC, you're going to be an average SEC team. You're going to be a 7, 8, 6 win team. At the end of your regular season, you'll be in between that 6 and 8 range. You're not going to make a New Year's 6 bowl. You're not going to make the playoffs. You're not going to do anything special. You'll be playing in some random bowl game that nobody's going to watch a week before Christmas, and that's what Oklahoma is. That's what Oklahoma is. You are an average team in the SEC. You're not. You're not some power team that you think you are because you beat Texas last year. I don't think you'll beat them this year. You're not going to beat Tennessee next week. You're going to whatever the spread is. I'd double it and bet Tennessee to cover that. Josh Heupel's going to make y'all look stupid in Norman next week, and I can't wait to be front and center to watch it because I'm in all these Facebook. And now that I've started this social media stuff, I'm in all these groups on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and the Oklahoma delusion is almost as bad as the Florida delusion. It's horrible.
Shots fired on Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Take cover.
It's so bad. I'm so tired of hearing these Oklahoma fans. It frustrates me really. You're gonna have a wake up call come Saturday, and I can't wait. And it's going to be a downhill slope from there. You're an average team in the SEC. You're not playing for anything in the SEC. You're not playing for championships, national titles, playoffs. You're not doing anything in the SEC worth a damn. I mean, if you like winning 7 games and playing in a bowl game that nobody's going to watch week before Christmas, more power to you. That's not what I want for my team.
They've done that for the past 20 years.
You're going to continue to do that in the SEC. I think you'll be on a downhill trajectory, honestly, in the SEC.
I was talking about Tennessee when I said that, not Oklahoma.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, Oklahoma's had some.
1-2, man. I should put y'all like 7.
You couldn't, or you'd be, but nobody'd watch the channel. There's supposed to be a sports talk, not a pow fish his
right, anyways, Oklahoma, you're average at best. At 6, I got Missouri.
Yeah.
Offense looks good, but no. Yeah, your offense looks good, but you haven't really played anybody. You beat Boston College, and I understand that they beat a Florida State team that hasn't won a game this year. Just
they
lost
were
to
sucking
Memphis.
first half too.
Yeah, y'all were struggling. Scored a touchdown right before the end of the first half, and 2-point conversion tied up. Pretty much just took over the game from there, but it wasn't anything special. I think you didn't cover your spread. I think you won by 10. I think the spread was like 14 or 15. Should have more than covered that against Boston College, in my opinion. That's a bottom-feeding ACC school. So, good for you, I guess.
Before we move into the top 5, this right here is what most people are disagreeing on right now, and I think this is what me and Trevor are going to disagree on the most. All our other teams, we maybe have 1 or 2 swapped, but this right here is where it's going to get wild.
At number 5, I've got Tennessee. And I've had a lot of people telling me that I'm crazy for having that, and for a lot of reasons. Nico has played a total 4 quarters against Iowa in the bowl game. He started that. 4 quarters against Chattanooga. Started that whole game, our first game of the season. 4 quarters against, did we play NC State next? Yeah.
Yeah.
And 4 quarters against, who did we just play? Kent State. So that's 4, 8, 12. That's 16 quarters that Nico's played. And in the Nico era, we have not allowed one offensive touchdown. Our defense is completely shut out all 16 quarters in the Nico era. There's not been an offensive touchdown scored, and that's insane. That's insane in 4 games, especially with opponents like Iowa and NC State. Those are great stats, but I'm not going to be that typical Tennessee. We're going 100 Tennessee fan. We're going 100-0. We're winning the Natty. Nico for Heisman. I'm not. That's not me. We started below the 4 teams I've got above us. We started with these 4 teams I've got above us. I had them above us, and we've done the same thing they've done. We've just went undefeated so far. So that's what I've got right now.
Well,
and Tennessee does look great, but I'm not going to be that Tennessee fan overhyping them. I'm not. I'm putting them at 5. I'm trying to stay humble with it. We still haven't played an SEC school yet. Looking forward, I think we're going to do a lot whenever we get into SEC play. But I mean, that's where I'm at right now. I got them at 5, and I'm happy with that.
Well, I have Alabama at 5, and that's just because most of the teams in the top 5 haven't played anybody big yet. And the only team that has truly dominated every single game, like absolutely dominated, is Tennessee so far. Because there's been Alabama struggling first half, Georgia struggling with Kentucky. Ole Miss, they've been good, but I just think Tennessee's dominated more. And, yeah, so in the top 5, I would say they've just dominated a little bit more than most teams, and I've got Alabama at 5.
I get that, bro, and I've got a lot of Tennessee fans that has told me that, it's not being humble, it's just facts, and I'm just trying to stay humble with it. So, who'd you say you got 5, Bama?
Yeah.
Okay, so at 4, I've got Bama. Um, they're not looking bad really anywhere. Jalen Milroe is Lamar Jackson made over, and I know a lot of Alabama fans that's not happy with that. The way he's running around, freaking out whenever there's any pressure, and he might struggle with that whenever he plays better offensive or better SEC defenses. We'll just see when time comes. I mean, he won an SEC championship last year doing what he does. So if he does that again, I don't know. They get a bye week this coming week. Georgia gets a bye week this coming week. Then Georgia goes to Birmingham and plays them. So time will tell on that. 4, I've got Bama,
4, I've got Georgia.
and we'll see.
Solely because of their horrible performance against Kentucky. Just garbage. Just played like garbage. So, I mean, taking into consideration how they play, Georgia had to have dropped back.
At 3, I've got Ole Miss.
I've got Ole Miss at 3 too.
Not much to say. They've been up there. They haven't played huge opponents, but they're pretty much blowing everybody else out that they played. I know it was a little bit closer against Wake Forest than a lot of people expected. I think they had like over 200 passing yards in that game, which blew a lot of people's minds. But I'm not high on Wake Forest this year, but I don't think they're going to be terrible in the ACC. They're playing in the ACC. If you got a decent team, you can win 8-9 games in the ACC. I mean, look at Billy Napier. He's not using the portal, and he's going to win 8-9 games this year. What the hell? At 2, I've got Georgia, and it's only because of how bad they played against Kentucky and how good Texas played this past week. Arch Manning balled out, looked great. Not going to get into that yet, but that's why I've got Texas and Georgia switch this week.
I've got Tennessee at 2 because they've just dominated. Like I said earlier, they just dominated more than everybody else in the top 5. So I've got them jumping all the way up to 2.
Hell yeah!
And everybody's got Texas number 1 because they're the best team.
At 1, I got Texas. They're just doing the damn thing. They're Arch. Quinn Ewers got hurt. Arch come in, balled out. Defense looks good. Arch looked good. I mean, I don't see how you don't swap the 2 after the 2 performances you've seen. I know that Georgia played an SEC school in Kentucky, and Kentucky always plays Georgia hard. Don't get that twisted. They've been within 7 points whenever Georgia's won a national championship, or 7 or 10. But I just switched them because Texas dominated and Georgia didn't. So I got Texas 1 and Georgia 2. So I'm going to go back through the list real quick. Texas 1, Georgia 2, Ole Miss 3, Bama 4, Tennessee 5, Missouri 6, Oklahoma 7, LSU 8, South Carolina 9, Texas A&M 10, Arkansas 11, Auburn 12, Kentucky 13, Vandy 14, Florida 15, Mississippi State 16. That is going into week 4. My power rankings. I couldn't talk right there.
Oh my god.
Anything you want to add?
Fuck you. But no, I don't got. No, something's
I'ma
wrong
tell
with you.
her to leave that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
You might be missing a few
A few what?
screws or wires.
No. I just normal. Y'all are the ones. Y'all saying I got damn. Hell, I got damn.
What'd you say? He said that y'all were uncultured.
Oh yeah, y'all. Anybody who said I was being funny, and y'all are uncultured.
I love doing this.
Y'all need to do some research before you come step into the big dog. You heard me? Make sure that's known. The whole world needs to know that.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm Mr. Booth. This was In the Booth with
Trent.
Mr. Booth and
Trent.
Trent.
Again?
Y'all have a good night.